made it through the holidays.
Yay! Or did we?
Probably stuck in that fucking food coma.
Yeah, I'm still full. I ate way too much.
You have any turkey?
No, I don't eat meat, but we had like all the sides and then like fish and wine, mulled wine.
No tofurkey?
No tofurkey this year, but a lot of pie. Too much pie.
And welcome to Bump in the Night. Today we are talking some unsolved mysteries and answering the question, are we alone in the universe? So yeah, this is basically our post-Thanksgiving episode, and we ran out of ideas, so we just gravitated to this one. Alright, so, did you want to start off with anything, or did you have anything you wanted to start us off with? You got something you want to say?
I just want to say that finding unsolved mysteries was really hard because there's so much out there, and there's like different subgenres or subcategories, anything from aliens to people vanishing to deaths. Just there's so much out there, and it's actually made me sad. Especially finding like all the cases of people that just vanished. So like this made me depressed, but some of them are really interesting. But yeah, I just want to say this was like a really hard challenge in my opinion. I don't know how you did it, but I had a hard time with this because there was like I said,
this isn't like our urban legends, because urban legends is a little bit more funner because it's based on folklore, on rumor, on myth, you know, hence urban legends. And so I try to stay away from like murders, honestly, because and like, you know, kids vanishing, stuff like that, because that's kind of a dark place, and that's, you know, our whole idea of the show is to entertain people. They don't want to come here and listen to us talk about murders and missing kids, and then they'll feel depressed and like, I don't want to listen to them anymore. I want to
hear about that stuff. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. This is a...
You can talk about that in like a happy voice.
Yeah. I don't have the radio voice for
stay
that.
Stay with the dark stuff.
That's our producer, and I'm trying to get her kicked out. But yeah, I try to stay away from all that stuff, but I couldn't help it because I had to go with one because I didn't know where else to go. Yeah.
But there's so much out there.
Yeah, there is a lot. I even had to go watch some like old sightings episodes.
Oh, nice.
I tried to watch some unsolved mysteries, but that just scared me. So I was like, no.
I used to love that show. I'd watch that show all the time as a kid.
Every time that I heard that theme, like at night, I'm like, nope.
It's so 90s too, because like Lifetime, which used to show reruns of it, and I would always like, oh yeah, it's on. But then they like had a reboot of it.
Yeah, when Dennis Farina took over, like I like Dennis Farina as an actor. Yeah, but he was so wrong.
He wasn't on Robert Stack's level.
He didn't have that voice. Yeah, that's what it was. And Robert Stack had that voice. He had like that damn LaFontaine voice, that trailer voice.
Creepy look
kind of that demeanor too.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he die or is he still alive?
I think he's still alive.
Huh. I wonder why he stopped doing it.
Because he got too depressed.
Didn't he do like wasn't he one of the voices on Beavis and Butthead, the movie?
Oh no, he died a long time ago.
Oh, what?
2003, May 14th.
Oh. Does it say how old he was?
Let's see.
Dun, dun, dun,
84.
Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good to make it to 84. Alright, so on this episode, we are going to do 3 unsolved mysteries each. Do you want to start it off, or?
Yeah, why not? I'll start it off. I'm actually going to go with a heavy one, so I don't have to deal with this later. So, back in the day, there's this infamous murder that we're all familiar with. And they do everything they can to fucking exploit the shit out of it. And I'm talking about John Bonet.
Oh, yeah. That's sad.
Because she died... People that don't know the story, she was murdered in the basement of her own house. A full house.
Around Christmas, wasn't it?
I think so. Around Christmas, and no one knew about it, but yet all pointed to the
parents,
mother and the father.
Yeah. I remember this like shocked the whole nation because JonBenet was like a little beauty queen, and she was always doing those pageants. And I don't know, there's been a lot of movies about this and documentaries. I don't know. Then some people are saying that the brother did it. Did you hear about this? Like, oh, it must have been the brother, or it had to be either one of the parents. I don't know.
Yeah, she died Christmas Day.
Oh, it was Christmas Day?
Yeah.
That's sad. That's tragic.
And JonBenet was a beauty queen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So...
She was hit in the head, right?
No, she was asphyxiated.
Oh, asphyxiated.
Yeah,
Was she sexually assaulted at all?
I don't think that was ever made public, but they do theorize no.
No?
Let's see.
How old was she?
She's like 6? 7?
Yeah, she was 6. The autopsy report stated that the official cause of death was asphyxiation by strangulation associated with cerebral trauma. Her death was ruled a homicide, and in part because her mother, Patsy Ramsey, had entered JonBenet in a series of child beauty pageants.
Mm-hmm.
The crime is still unsolved and remains open investigation with the Boulder police.
Yeah, and then the mom too was a beauty queen when she was younger, so she made kind of, I don't want to say she was a stage mom, but she kind of was. She then made her daughter do all this, but yeah,
remember theorized that she was jealous.
People say that the mom was jealous. But then there was this guy in the 2000s that said he killed her. Remember hearing about this? And that he was a pedophile and all that. But I don't know. This whole case has a lot of stuff to it. I know the window in the basement, there were footprints outside.
Yeah. People said that.
In the snow or something like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and so apparently there was a false confession.
Yeah, from what's the guy's name?
John Mark Kerr, a 41-year-old elementary school teacher, was arrested in Bangkok, Thailand, on August 15, 2006, when he falsely confessed to murdering JonBenet. He claimed that he had drugged and sexually assaulted and accidentally killed her. According to CNN, authorities also said that they did not find any evidence linking Kerr to the crime scene. He had provided only basic facts and that were publicly known and failed to provide any convincing details. His claim that he had drugged JonBenet was doubted because autopsy indicated there were no drugs found in her body. DNA samples that were taken from Kerr did not match DNA found on JonBenet's body.
And the whole ransom note thing, why would there be a ransom note if she was murdered? That's why they also thought the parents did it.
To cover it up. So, a lot of people think that the parents did it.
Yeah.
It's
But she's dead. The mom died.
Did she?
Yeah, but the dad remarried, I think. The dad's still alive and remarried, but yeah, the mom passed away of breast cancer, I think, or some type of cancer.
So the Ramseys have been having a lot of defamation lawsuits against networks, CBS.
Yeah, because CBS did that long documentary on them.
Yeah, the case of JonBenet.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because did you ever watch Casting JonBenet?
Yeah, that was good on Netflix.
That was so they basically took actors and asked them questions about the case, right?
Yeah.
And say, "Oh, what do you think about it? Do you think he did it? Do you think this is true?"
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting, a way of doing that.
It was different.
But yeah, JonBenet Ramsey, that's one. I'm not gonna linger too much on this one because just there's way too much to unpack, and I mean there really is. There's a lot.
So in '98, they ruled out immediate family members because of DNA testing, more advanced DNA testing, and that the brother Burke was not a suspect and neither were the parents.
Yeah, because the CBS one totally made it look like it could have been the brother.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, so that's number 3, which is still an open case today.
Still
no
unresolved.
one knows what actually happened.
So sad.
Yeah, such a life cut short.
Yeah, 6 years old. Well, I'm not going to get on a happier note either.
Okay, wait. It's called Bump in the Night, and it's supposed to be creepy stuff. That's what
yeah,
these guys.
Creepy, unresolved mysteries.
Things are supposed to be dark. You guys are all about the darkness.
That one involves kids. To me, that's different.
All right, so mine is about Alyssa Lamb. I know we talked about this on the side last time. In February 2013, hotel guests at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, which is now called Stay on the Main, began to complain of discolored and foul-tasting water and low water pressure. Some guests even said that the water was black. So gross. A maintenance worker went to inspect the water tanks on the roof, and there, 21-year-old Canadian student Alyssa Lamb was found dead. She was found in one of 4 1,000-gallon tanks, providing water to guest rooms, a kitchen, and a coffee shop. The tank was drained and cut open since its maintenance hatch was too small to accommodate equipment needed to remove her body. Her death was considered an accidental drowning, and there was no evidence of physical trauma, sexual assault, or suicide. Her body was naked, and her clothes, watch, and room key were floating right next to her in the water.
Ugh.
Creepy, right? Her toxicology was considered incomplete, but did show traces of prescription drugs. The unsettling thing besides her death was actual elevator footage of her acting weird just days before she was found. She's seen pushing all the elevator buttons, exiting and re-entering, talking, and looking like she's hiding from someone or something. And she has this one part in the footage where she's moving her hands really bizarrely. It's really creepy, actually, if you watch it. You can find it on YouTube.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. A lot of people that are into the paranormal thought she was playing the elevator game, which is a creepy urban legend, and other people think it was just a manic episode from her bipolar disorder, which she did have. Not only is her death weird, but it's how she even got to the tanks in the first place, because staff members are the only ones who have access and passcodes to the roof, stairs, and doors. Some say you can access the roof from the fire escapes, but it's still tricky, and wouldn't have there been witnesses seeing someone climb on the fire escapes?
Yeah, because the fire escapes are literally right
outside
next
the
to
window. Yeah.
Window.
Another question is, how did she get into the tank by herself, since staff members needed ladders to enter them? The lids covering them are pretty heavy and secured as well. Could she have lifted them by herself? I don't know. This hotel itself has a weird and haunted history. It's known for many murders and suicides. It was known as a place where people would have affairs and prostitutes would go there. Serial killer Richard Ramirez stayed there, as well as a serial killer named Jack, and I'm butchering his last name, but I think it's Unterweger. And also people reported that the Black Dahlia was there before she died.
Elizabeth Short.
Mm-hmm. So it's just a creepy place. It's not in a good area at all. It's like right by Skid Row, but it's a budget hotel. It's
like $25 a night or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And for a lot of people that don't know, that American Horror Story Hotel is actually based on this hotel. It's based on the Cecil Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen the footage, and people.
It's creepy.
People always say, "Oh, you could see Richard Ramirez's image
in the footage."
Yeah.
What? I've never heard about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a point where there's like a flash, and they pause it, and you say, "I'll see." There's an outline of his face. Like, no, dude, it's not.
Wow.
It's just the camera fucking up. That's all it is. And I think that's a reach.
Mm-hmm.
But the elevator game, everything else, it just points to something just more sinister.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what happened outside that elevator before she got into there.
Another thing too, the room. So she had a room before that she was sharing with people, because you can do that at this hotel, kind of like a hostel.
Yeah.
But they complained that she was acting weird, so then they gave her own room. So was this just a bipolar, kind of manic episode, or was this something a little more?
How'd she get to the water tank?
Yeah.
How'd she get to the roof?
Why was she naked? And Yeah, there's just a lot. So there's a lot of theories on this case, but it's just sad too because anytime you have footage of someone when they're missing and then you go and look at it, it's like, oh, if someone was there, or like if someone could have helped her if she was having a manic episode, anything, you know. It's just sad. And then a lot of people were like, oh, this is like the movie Dark Water. I don't know if you ever saw Dark Water. The little girl was found in the tanks and it turned the water black.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a really sad case. And it's to this day, you know, there's so many unanswered questions about this case. But
yeah, I think it's going to be unanswered questions because no one knows what happened.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if she didn't have passcodes or keys to the roof, you know, you would have to think inside job.
Yeah, was it one of the hotel staff members, maybe?
You would have to think.
But there are a lot of homeless drug addicts on that street. So did someone murder her? I don't know. Like, there's so many what ifs.
Yeah, just seeing the footage of her in the elevator is just weird enough. And just seeing the way she acts.
Yeah, because the hand that's like...
The way she's acting, she's reacting to someone.
It looks like someone's behind So if you watch the footage to the right, I think, it looks like she's talking to someone. Or that someone's there and that she's like hiding or scared. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man, imagine waking up in the morning and turning on the faucet.
Black water. It's so gross. Ooh.
That's gross. All right. So, my next... Or you still going?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
You're done? Let's see. Hold on. Okay. My number 2 is about one of the most infamous heists ever committed in the 70s. And no one knows what actually happened to this dude. And of course I'm talking about Mr. D.B. Cooper.
Oh yeah. That guy.
Let's see, where is it? God damn it, I just had it.
I remember watching and first hearing about him on Unsolved Mysteries, actually.
So, and there was a documentary on Netflix for a little bit called Unsolving D.B. Cooper.
Oh. And
the documentary guy, he made a compelling case about how he found him. And he, like, ID'd D.B. Cooper's like, this is the guy. And, which was pretty... He made a really good argument. But I digress. So... For those that don't know, on November 24th, 1977, Dan Cooper was a passenger on Northwest Airlines Flight 305 from Portland to Seattle. A 30-minute flight, he was described by passengers and flight attendants as a man in his mid-40s wearing a dark suit, black tie, and the mother-of-pearl tie clip, and a neatly pressed white collared shirt. He took his seat, lit a cigarette, back in the day when you could do shit like that. Ordered a bourbon and a soda and paid cash. Shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a 23-year-old flight attendant who ignored it, assuming it was the man's number. He said, "Miss, you better look at that note. I have a bomb." The note's exact wording is part of the mystery, since Cooper reclaimed it after the flight attendant read it. But his demands were for $200,000 in negotiable American currency, which is worth $1 million today.
Wow.
4 parachutes, and a field truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane on arrival. The flight attendant brought the demands to the captain. Airline's president authorized full cooperation. The other passengers had no idea what was happening, having been told that the landing was delayed due to mechanical difficulties. At 5:39, the plane landed at an airline. God damn it, I hate when it does that. Employee delivered a cash-filled knapsack, parachutes. Cooper allowed all passengers and 2 flight attendants to leave the plane during refueling. Cooper outlined his plan to the crew, a southeasterly course toward Mexico, and 1 further refueling stop in Nevada. 2 hours later, the plane took off. When it landed in Reno, Cooper's absence was noted. Cooper, whom the media mistakenly referred to as D.B. Cooper, was never seen or heard from again. No parachute was found, and the ransom money was never used.
It was never used?
It was never used. In 1980, a young boy on vacation with his family in Oregon found several packets of the ransom money, ID'd by serial numbers, leading to an intense search of the area for Cooper or his remains. Nothing was ever found. For a time, it was speculated that Mad Men's fictional Don Draper was the man who became Cooper. In the real world, the parachute strap was found in 2017 at one of Cooper's possible landing sites. So whatever happened to D.B. Cooper? Did he get away? Did he jump somewhere between Seattle to Reno and all of a sudden fell to his death? Did he get caught by a tree and break some ribs?
Did he battle Bigfoot? Did you ever see D.B. Cooper versus Bigfoot? It's on Amazon. It's horrible.
But
yeah, what happened to him? Is he living another life? I mean, he's probably dead now, right?
Yeah, but in 2013, Rolling Stone released an article said that they discovered his identity.
Who?
So, let's see.
The Zodiac Killer.
Wait, where is it? So, Thomas Colbert, a filmmaker, author. This is the guy I was telling you earlier that did the documentary.
Oh, okay.
So, who has led an independent investigation of the cold case for the last 7 years. The real Cooper is a 74-year-old Vietnam vet named Robert Rickstraw. And the proof is hidden in a series of letters allegedly written by Cooper in the months after his hijacking and disappearance. Rickstraw, a former Special Forces paratrooper, explosives expert, and pilot with about 22 different aliases.
Wow. Was
once a person of interest in the case, but was eliminated by FBI in '79. His elimination was controversial amongst investigating agents, and he remained, for many, the most valuable suspect in what remains the only unsolved case of air piracy in the U.S. In 2016, the FBI announced that they were ending their investigation into the case. Wow,
that's trippy.
Now, Colbert said in Seattle said that they were covering up and they were stonewalling. And he said he's involved in numerous classified units during the war that may have worked for the CIA. This is an old-fashioned scandal. He said a rep for the FBI Seattle's field office told the Rolling Stone that they have received an immense number of tips over the years, but none to date have resulted in a definitive ID of the hijacker. They did not respond to the request or comment whether the FBI stonewalled the investigation into Rickstraw. So, this guy makes a pretty compelling case. And there's this whole article on Rolling Stone, which I'll post a link up on our YouTube page where you guys can read about it. It's really interesting because he makes a really compelling case about Rickstraw being D.B. Cooper.
Wow, it sounds pretty convincing. What's the documentary called?
Unsolving D.B. Cooper. It used to be on Netflix, but I think you can find it on Prime right now.
On Prime? Sounds interesting. Did he write any letters to anyone after he disappeared?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for right now. It said, let's see. Colbert and his 40-person team, many of whom are former federal agents, say D.B. Cooper's identity has been in the FBI files all along, hidden in a series of letters sent to various newspapers in the months of the hijacking. The FBI kept the fifth and sixth letter under wraps until Colbert successfully sued for the Cooper case file under the Freedom of Information Act. Colbert claims both letters contain coded messages that point directly to Rickstraw. So let's see. Rickstraw, who is currently living in San Diego, last November, they wrote that he did not confirm or deny anything, telling the reporter that verify Colbert's facts. So Rick Sherwood, a former member of the Army who decoded signals during the Vietnam War, cracked the codes. Rickstraw served under Sherwood in 2 classified units, and Sherwood was familiar with his writing style, having deciphered some of his earlier messages. When he saw the 5th and 6th typewritten letters, he immediately thought The odd letter and number combinations were indicative of the type of coded message that Rickstraw would send. So you have his whole former CO saying, I recognize that code.
That's so weird. How come this wasn't more in the news? Like
this article broke, let's see. Well, actually, this was last year, July 2nd, 2018. This actually did break all over last year, because I do remember seeing it. But this is like, what, a 40-year-old case? About $200,000, which is $1 million now.
Yeah. But it's the fact that he, like, got away with it, you know?
Yeah, but he released that documentary, Unsolving D.B. Cooper, and that whole documentary goes into, like, in detail
everything
about what's going on in this article. And I think people should watch that, because he makes a really compelling argument, but no one really knows what happens to him, because if you're jumping, you're a paratrooper, and he's experienced in jumping out of planes, but that doesn't mean you can account for the terrain, the trees. You know, you do something wrong, you can literally end up in a tree and break your fucking legs.
The water, right?
He was going to do Mexico.
But don't they fly over?
So from Seattle to Mexico, he'd be flying over land.
Oh, okay.
But he'd be flying over the mountains too.
Yeah, he could have died.
You know, but the kids, the money was never used. What's the point of stealing the money if it was never used?
Maybe he just like wanted to see if he could get away with something. You know?
That could be it too.
Yeah.
That's probably the most logical explanation.
It's an adrenaline. It's adrenaline rush, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a war veteran, so probably missed the action.
He's probably the Zodiac killer.
All right, so that's my number 2, D.B. Cooper.
Okay.
Infamous D.B. Cooper.
That's a good one. This next one is new. It's like a recent one, and I'm going to call it The Watcher. Derek and Maria Brodus, hope I'm not butchering that, Brodus, bought a 6-bedroom house in Westfield, New Jersey for $1.3 million in June 2014, and within days received a letter from somebody identifying himself as The Watcher. 2 more letters arrived in the following weeks, which contained threats, 2 of them asking if the owners had young blood, and that he planned to call the children to him when he learned their names. The Watcher claimed his grandfather and father had previously watched the house, and it was now his turn. The owners, who have kids, refused to move in and settle into the new house. And they already had their furniture in, and they were getting settled in and everything. They filed a lawsuit to the previous owners and claimed that they knew about the stalker from a letter they received, but failed to tell anyone until after they had sold the house. The previous owners denied hiding any information so they could sell the house, and they filed a countersuit claiming defamation. The house remained vacant until the owners rented it out, receiving $4,000 per month, which is a lot. They have also recently received a new letter this year from the Watcher, and there are no suspects. So I'm going to read some of the things the guy wrote in his letters. If it is a guy. That? Yeah. 657 Boulevard has been the subject of my family for decades now, and as it approaches its 110th birthday, I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within the walls of 657 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out. It has been years and years since the young blood ruled the hallways of the house. Have you found out all the secrets it holds yet? Will the young blood play in the basement? Or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be very afraid if I were them. It is far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream. So imagine getting these creepy ass letters, right? And you don't know who the hell this is. But then you also have to look at it. Are the new owners the ones doing this because they want publicity, or is it really some psycho out there?
Why would the new owners do that, though?
I don't know. People do crazy shit every day.
To drive the market down?
I mean, they bought it for 1.3.
Yeah, but
no one. They put it up for sale, but no one would buy it because of these letters. So they had no choice but to rent it out. because they couldn't sell it. I don't know. It's pretty creepy.
And this is recent?
Yeah.
How recent?
They just received this newest letter this year. Like, I think in spring or summer.
And this is ongoing for how long?
Since 2014.
For 4 years, they've been getting letters like this?
Yeah.
And then not once has there's any action been taken.
No, so there was a police investigation, but no suspects to this day. So it's still unresolved.
Police won't do shit unless there's a crime committed.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. But, like, you have kids, though. You have to think, like, oh, is this guy, like, watching my kids or girl or whoever this is? I don't know. Like, I'd be creeped out. I wouldn't move out of the house, though. I would just make sure I had, like, a security system and cameras and...
Fuck that. I move. Fuck that.
But it's a beautiful house, though. Like, if you...
I don't give a fuck what kind of house it is. So I get letters on my fucking doorstep saying, I'm watching you. It's like, we're moving.
Get a gun.
That just invites problems. That doesn't solve problems.
Not if you pull the trigger.
Then it creates more problems.
But no, it's pretty creepy, though. So yeah, they just, like I said, the newest letter was from this year.
No, I think that is weird.
Isn't it? This should be a Lifetime movie.
I can fucking guarantee you that it is.
It probably will be. But I feel like there's not enough yet to go on. Like, they'll probably, if they do make this a movie, they'll add other drama. Like, things are disappearing in the house. Or, you know.
No one Lifetime they make him a sexual predator.
Yeah.
And the girl's panties are missing.
Ew!
There'll be a scene where, like, he's going through the
rummaging through her stuff.
And he's taking the panties and the bras. It's like, where are all that stuff? Like,
wow. Or he sends the panties in the letter.
All right.
Yeah. There you go.
I recognize this. No, it's a Polaroid.
Oh, Polaroids are creepy when they take photos of shit.
It's like, hey, you like this? Is that what you like?
Yeah, I don't know. I was fascinated by this one because, like, he's making threats, but not really. Like, he's going about this in a very smart way. Like, he's not saying, I'm going to kill you.
So I'm just going to watch you.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really interested in this case. And I wonder if they're ever going to find out who it is.
Probably not if he's been doing it for, like, over, 40 decades.
Well, his dad and his grandpa.
They've been watching the house, so you gotta think. That's been going on for years. And no one else has, like, ever said that? Or is he the only one that's stupid enough to send them letters?
I think he's the only one that has sent letters. Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? And, like, Grandpa and Dad are looking down on him like, you fucked up, son. You fucking idiot.
You're a disgrace on the family.
It's like, you're not supposed to fucking tell them.
But yeah, pretty creepy, though. So that was my number 2.
Alright. Well, my number 1's kind of obvious.
Is it?
Yeah, because I opened up with it. Are we alone?
Are we alone in the universe?
Are we alone in the universe? That's it's kind of a heavy question.
It's pretty heavy question.
It's like, to think that we're the only ones here is terrifying. But to think that we're not the only ones here is equally terrifying.
It's also terrifying, yeah.
Because, like, we don't know what's on other planets or other solar systems.
Black holes.
You know? I don't know. Like, I remember seeing sightings one day, like, back in the day, and I remember seeing how they saw a face on Mars.
Yeah,
I
remember that. Yeah.
But then the debunkers is like, no, it wasn't a face.
Yeah.
It was a mountain that just looked like a face. It's like, oh, well.
Like the Jesus and toast. Remember, like that whole thing?
So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know where, like, I stand on this, but to think,
The Marion Pinto Lake.
Oh, yeah, that? I remember that.
Oh, that's right. How it happened like 2 years ago, huh?
2 years ago? That was
I thought that was a way back.
Oh.
Yeah.
My son was in a stroller.
Oh, no, didn't something happen?
Like over 20
there was a
years
murder
ago.
in Pinto Lake.
Oh, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. But I think, I don't know. I do think that there may be something out there.
I don't think we're alone.
There's just so much weird shit going on. Like, there's just so much unexplainable things you see flying at night.
Mm-hmm.
Weird lights. You know, you often get. But granted, it's down in the south, And there's always like some redneck that's always getting abducted by an alien. So you really can't do that.
Getting probed.
I honestly think they do that on purpose so that we don't believe them.
You know, it's pretty crazy because my husband and I, we watch alien documentaries like every night. And he thinks there's life out there, but he doesn't believe in UFOs. He thinks if aliens existed or if they were at Earth already, we would be enslaved to them because of their technology to get to Earth from whatever galaxy or whatever black hole they come from. And I joke, I'm like, I think aliens are cats and we are their slaves. That's my thing. But no, it's weird because I don't think they're here yet, but I do think that there's got to be other life and other things on other planets.
What about all those stories of people being visited by the Men in Black?
The Men in Black are really interesting. Yeah, there's a ton of documentaries on them, and that's creepy shit right there.
I want to get visited by Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones.
Here come the Men in Black. But yeah, I don't know, like...
It's like, are you sure you saw what you saw? Yeah. You sure? Yeah? Okay. Take them away, boys.
The whole, like, Area 51 and Roswell...
That was actually going to be one of them. Area 51, because we don't know what the fuck is going on.
You can't go there. They can shoot you if you go there.
Yeah, it's all private property. Like, you go on there, as soon as you cross that fucking fence, you're
liable
to get shot.
I do want to go to Roswell though. That looks like a cool place to visit.
You want to see where the weather balloon fell?
That and they're supposed to have like an alien town. I think like alien themed things.
Not really.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm always into that kind of stuff, but. Yeah, there's so much out there, and you always have to look too in those paintings, the weird UFOs. Remember, have you seen that? It's not Da Vinci. What artist was it? It was like there's some famous paintings out there that has like a UFO, and it's like, how do you explain that? Like, have they been seeing things since then?
You know, it's funny because the Egyptians, the Aztecs, they had this crazy technology that just the shouldn't have existed back then. And
they were all about the up above. Like they always wanted to reach that.
You know, what if like those hieroglyphics are actually telling us that's what's really out there.
Like some code.
Yeah. Like how do you build those pyramids like that? How do you get the idea to do that? And why in that shape?
Do you think aliens exist?
I do think so, yeah.
Do you think they look like little men with big heads and black eyes?
I think that was kind of a 50s thing.
Yeah.
I think they're more either sophisticated or a little bit more terrifying.
Or they look like insects.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I would think there's like, it's like Star Wars. Like there's a whole different kinds of race of aliens. There's humanoid aliens. There's fish aliens. There's
watery. I believe in like. Have you seen like sea creatures are terrifying?
Yeah.
Like I think
especially the ones that are down below.
Yes, like they are
100,000 feet down below.
And there's some we haven't even identified yet. It's nuts.
Have either of you had an experience where you think you saw something or something happened?
Not with aliens. My mom has, but
I
not.
I have too. I've had 3. I was really
What were
young.
yours? Tell us. Talking to the mic. I want to hear this.
I don't even remember how old I had 3 different occasions that I can think of. I was pretty young. One, I was riding. It was way back when in the 70s when you could ride your bike around town and people were not as paranoid about getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I was coming home and it was getting dark, so I knew I had to get home soon. I was supposed to be home before dark. And I looked up and there was this huge, it looked like a star, but I'd never seen anything like it. And it seemed way up in the sky, but not that high. And it followed me on my bike home. Yeah. And I watched it like the whole time till I got to my house, and I never said anything. I just went.
Wow. And it wasn't a plane or like a government object?
It seemed too close, and it was huge and bright, and it was when it was getting dark. And then I was staying at someone's house one time, and I woke up, and I saw this right outside the window, this light, and I was a couple of years older, and I I didn't get out of bed. I just saw the bright light outside the door. And then all of a sudden under the door, it's like from a movie. But I don't think I was dreaming. I remember being wide awake and under the door, like the crack.
Like the crack was all lit up?
Like underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden the bright light was right outside the door to the bedroom.
Ooh.
And then it was gone. And then one night I woke up at my house. I lived out in the country, and so there was fields all around. And the back area was lit up, like, and there was just apple orchards.
Sky? Or...
Yeah.
Wow.
And I remember getting up and peeking out, like kind of looking out the window, but being afraid, and just seeing the whole field.
Like lit up?
Lit up, yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know. I was really young, and I don't know. Maybe I was dreaming all 3 times, but I remember like getting up the next day and thinking I was wide awake. Like
I saw that.
And I've had a couple of other things that have happened. Not since I've become an adult, but when I was a kid.
Why do they always visit like country areas?
I think we just answered it because she's unreliable.
It's an unreliable source.
As far as I know, I haven't been kidnapped and I don't have any marks on my body.
Oh, God. You weren't probed?
Yeah.
But, like, have you
Not
noticed...
by an alien.
Yeah. But you notice that, like, they're always in, like, the country, right? Or, like, cornfields or, like, the desert.
Well, it's because, again, as I touched on earlier, is because we wouldn't believe them. We won't believe them. Because, like, you know, country folk to city folk is, like, apples and oranges. We think they're stupid and low class and have no education, and we dismiss them.
Don't you think maybe out in the country it's just more noticeable?
Yeah, there's more. It's cleaner.
I mean, it's like
more open.
Like all I had around me was fields.
Yeah,
and,
they could land
and they weren't lit up. There wasn't, you know, you could see like the night sky was so dark. You could see all the stars in the sky. You know, there wasn't city lights, so there was nothing. I mean, if the whole field was lit up abnormally, all of a sudden you would notice that. If it was, you know, a light, you were in the city with tall, you know, skyscrapers or like lights all around, you know, maybe you just don't notice.
Speaking of, I just got a news alert. NASA's InSight probe just landed on Mars.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Yay! Because they were like
Speaking of being probed,
they were all nervous about it though. Like they were all like on pins and needles about it landing. But
you know, some theorize that there's actually aliens on the moon.
Yeah, and like Russia wants to prove that the moon landing was fake, and a lot of people believe the moon landing was fake, that Stanley Kubrick shot it in a studio. Yeah,
they say that 2001 was a dry run. It's funny because one of my friends said that I guess he said he found an interview with Neil Armstrong. And he was walking along the moon, and he runs into these two beings, and he tells them, "Do never come back here again."
What?
And if you come back here, we will kill you.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Like, that's crazy. But if you think about it, we've never been in the moon since then.
Yeah.
And that's weird.
It is weird, and I always talk about that too. Like, why not?
Like, how come there's always a problem? How come we always fly around the moon?
But not on it.
how come we haven't landed since then?
How come we haven't colonized it?
Is there a actual, like, glass city out there made out of glass?
It's made out of cheese.
I don't know, but I just think that's a really interesting one, and that's something, I feel that's a question that's left unanswered.
Oh, I think it'll always be unanswered.
I know,
till the day we die.
I know, but I feel like that's a question that should be left alone. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
You know, because people, what's that saying? It's like, it's not a saying, but it's like the question that shouldn't have an answer should just be left alone. Because if you try to answer it, you're just gonna fuck yourself in the long run.
Yeah.
So that's it. Are we alone? Believe it or not. I'm just saying, believe it or not. That's all I'm saying.
Like, what? Do you have more to add to that? Well, it's funny because my last one kind of ties into that.
Oh, good.
This is one I just heard of recently. I'll call this the strange disappearance of Granger Taylor. This is a really interesting one. On the evening of November 29th, 1980, 32-year-old Granger Taylor left his parents a strange note before vanishing from their farm in Duncan, a small town on southern Vancouver Island. The note said, "Dear Mother and Father, I have gone away to walk aboard an alien spaceship as reoccurring dreams assured a 42-month interstellar voyage to explore the vast universe, then return. I am leaving behind all my possessions to you as I will no longer no longer require the use of any. Please use the instructions in my will as a guide to help. Love, Granger." Supposedly, Taylor was last seen leaving a local diner called Bob's Grill around 6:30 p.m. that day. Bob's Burgers. A search was put in place, but neither him or his car were found. Although his note was bizarre, it wasn't too crazy since Taylor had an obsession with aliens and UFOs. He had built a life-size replica spaceship on his parents' farm that he sometimes slept in. He also had dreams that aliens were coming for him. Granger's background was kind of a sad one. His father died of an accidental drowning when he was just a kid. He also dropped out of 8th grade and became fascinated with machinery. He was known as the guy who could fix anything and even restored a World War II P-40 Kitty Hawk, which is amazing because, not many people can do that. He was known as a shy eccentric who smoked a lot of pot. According to family members, in the months leading up to his disappearance, he had been doing a lot of acid and said he had direct contact with aliens and that they communicated with him through his mind. 6 years after his disappearance, local forestry workers found a blast site not far from Granger's parents' house. Human bone fragments and Granger's truck were found, and supposedly Granger had taken dynamite used for blasting tree stumps with him in his truck. An official coroner's inquest deemed that due to circumstantial evidence found at the blast site, Granger had been killed. But they can't prove 100% if it's his bone fragments. All in all, nobody really knows what.
They can't prove it.
They can't prove it because of the DNA.
You can still extract DNA from the bones.
Yeah, but they couldn't. They couldn't find out 100% if it was his.
Wow.
Yeah. All in all, no one really knows what actually happened to him, and there's so many weird unanswered questions and conspiracy theories. So his truck was there, but it was blown up, and there are bone fragments, but they can't 100% identify if that's him.
Is it burnt? Are they burnt?
I'm not 100% sure, but
because if it's burned beyond recognition.
Yeah.
Well, then again,
it's pretty weird though, and they say that he was kind of like a genius because he wasn't book smart, but he knew how to construct things and really knew machinery and could make anything. And, he was just kind of a loner. He did have friends, but everyone thought he was a secret genius.
So he's Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, basically. But it's just a sad story. And the spaceship that he built on his parents' farm, he made it from satellites. So there's images. You can actually go and research. There's images of it.
And this took place in the 80s?
Yeah, 1980. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was fascinated with this story.
Do you think that's him?
I don't know. Anything's possible. But why would he blow up the truck and himself? They said that he knew dynamite really well. It wasn't something that he messed with. He wouldn't just set it off. He knew what he was doing. Is
that what blew up the car?
Yeah, dynamite.
Dynamite?
Mm-hmm.
What was his name again?
Granger Taylor. And that sounds like a fake name, doesn't it? But they also think, was he schizophrenic? Because you develop schizophrenic traits at 32. And I'm like, shit, I have a year left. But I don't know. And the acid, but he was believing aliens long.
Seem like you're already there.
Wow.
No, I'm joking.
Am I talking? I'm in a room by myself right now. You guys are just imaginary.
This is all in your dream.
It's all in my it's all in my head.
We're not even here.
I actually think that sometimes, if I go to the store and I'm with someone, I feel like people look at me funny. I don't know. But he believed aliens way before he was doing acid.
But then you also said that he was dropping tons of acid.
Yeah, but he believed aliens.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, he did acid after the fact, and so that's probably what caused him to have an episode.
Mm-hmm. So you think those are his bone fragments?
I don't know. Maybe. And it could be, but again, I would have to see. But then again, it's in order for bones to be really, charcoal, the fire has to be really, really hot.
Right. And they were there for 6 years. So
where did they find the truck?
Not too far from his parents' house.
And no one noticed a big boom?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. When hikers or people nearby hear, maybe they thought it, because I guess that was popular around there.
Blowing up dynamite?
Yeah, because of trees, maybe logging or building things. Maybe it wasn't unheard of to hear noises like that around that area. It's not too far off, so.
Dynamite is stable though, right?
Yeah.
It's stable. It's not like C4 where it's not unstable, but it's.
I'm pretty sure it's stable. Don't quote me on that though.
Let's see.
It's almost the anniversary of his disappearance.
Yeah. Maybe he'll come back. Yeah, there's such interesting stuff out there on this one. And I never heard about this until I was researching. But yeah, there's, again, with alien life, and they always say, oh, only the crazy, weird people believe in aliens. But I don't know. There's a lot of cases out there, too. I think even in New York, upstate New York, a lot of people reported in the early 90s that there was a huge spaceship and tons of people saw it.
What?
And then all over the U.S., there's been sightings and I don't know.
The one movie that got me when I was a kid was Fire in the Sky.
Oh, yeah.
That movie fucking tripped me the fuck out.
Signs scared me when I first watched it.
I hate that fucking movie.
I like that movie.
That movie's garbage.
What about Close
Garbage.
Encounters?
Close Encounters?
The classic. I went and saw that in the
too.
theater. What?
What? That's a great movie.
That's a really good.
The Fourth Kind scared me.
Dynamite is stable, by the way.
It is stable?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, The Fourth Kind freaks me out. I can't watch that.
Fourth Kind.
With Mila Jovovich.
Oh.
And the owls. Ooh.
You know what? I get that confused with Dark Skies.
Dark Skies was actually good. I liked that one.
That was a really good movie. But it's funny because those two movies, if I remember correctly, those two movies came out around the same time.
Did they? If you have a chance to watch The Fourth Kind, though, it's on Amazon Prime. It's creepy. Creepy shit. But you ever hear about that? They always, if you look at a bunch of documentaries, people associate owls with aliens, and it's why? I don't understand that.
Oh no, they're released 4 years apart.
Fourth Kind was first, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. UFOs, dude.
We're not alone. Trust no one.
There's an actual Thanos up there waiting to strike.
But yeah, those are my unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, those are mine too. I'm just gonna leech off Elisa's ideas because those are my ideas.
Yeah, right.
I did all the work.
Yeah, right. But yeah, if anybody has any mysteries that aren't really well known that they want to share, please share with us.
Yeah, if you have any UFO sightings you would like to share, please let us know.
And photos.
And please do not share SpaceX rockets, please. Please do not do that because we will know the difference. Wink, wink. Because I actually did that too.
Wow. You would. No, just kidding.
No, because when I went to go see Venom.
I know, the thing was out.
Yeah, you saw the picture, right? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Everybody was like, oh my god, aliens.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was SpaceX, so there you go. I took the picture down because it was like, yeah, no. I couldn't sell it to TMZ, so oh well.
Damn, you would have made a fortune.
Right? Now I just gotta go up north and go find Bigfoot.
I'll go. I'm always fascinated with Bigfoot stories.
Gotta go find Bigfoot. And the Loch Ness.
Yeah, gotta go to Scotland.
Alright, so that's it. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Oh, your favorite movie's coming out, by the way. Halloween. It's coming out in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Maybe I gotta watch it again and give it another shot.
Yeah, you do, because I think you were very...
Although we already had it with H2O.
That movie's garbage.
Did you actually hear that the ending was going to be different for this Halloween? Did you read that article? Laurie was going to die.
Oh, yeah.
And it was more, like, the battle was more intense. Yeah. That, I think I would have liked.
I would have liked that, too, actually.
I mean, I love Laurie, don't get me wrong, but I just think the final battle wasn't for me. It just wasn't.
You know why 3... not to go on a tangent or anything, but you know why Dream Warriors works so well?
Because she died.
It's because Nancy dies.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to kill the final girl, even though she's not the final girl.
Yeah.
But she was the first one to beat Freddy,
mm-hmm.
and they put her down.
It has more of an impact.
And oh God, we need to do a Scream episode because I really want to talk about this.
You want Sydney to die, don't you?
No, I thought this is how they should have done 4. This is how they should.
I was let down with 4.
I fucking love 4.
I was let down.
4 was so ahead of its time, though.
Here's the thing. We could do a whole episode on that. Like, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I was just... The concept was cool, but because I know that Wes and what's his name, Kevin, were kind of having, like, differences, mm-hmm. and there's a lot of script issues, it wasn't what it could have been.
Well, okay, but I will say this, that they got what people are doing today.
Oh, I know, for sure. Because
they want fame. They want that viral sensation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I loved about it. Because I saw it coming. Because guess who came? You know who got famous right around that time?
From the movie?
No, from a viral movie.
Oh, was it Kim Kardashian?
No, it was Paris? Justin fucking Bieber.
Oh. Yeah.
He got famous for doing the drums, got him a record deal, and he got famous.
But I will agree with you on that. It was very ahead of its time, and I loved that about it.
If that movie came out today,
yeah.
it'd be fucking relevant. But the movie that's more relevant now is Tragedy Girls.
I haven't seen that. That's on my list.
It's on Hulu, and I highly recommend you watch that.
Is it on anywhere else? Because I don't have Hulu.
It'd be on Prime.
Oh.
Yeah,
I do want to check that out, because it's the same kind of concept, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Heathers, but a horror movie, I hear. But...
But anyway, this is how they should have done it. Sydney should have been the killer. Because then it would have been full circle.
But what would have given Sydney reason to kill?
Because they're rebooting...
No, it should have been Gail fucking Weathers. Because she didn't have a book. She wasn't doing shit. She wasn't doing anything. She wanted fame. And you know how Gail Weathers is. It should have been Gail Weathers.
That would have been good, too.
Yeah, and she would have been like a... That, to me, too, she wasn't a bitch in this one. And her comebacks were not... good.
Well, her and David divorced.
I know, but that wasn't until after.
No, that was before the movie.
No, they were still together. No, they divorced after.
No, they weren't together. Because they said they had... Because even Wes said there was dissension between the two.
Maybe it was like leading up to their divorce.
And so like they weren't, on the same page.
She just wasn't... But that should have given her more of a reason to be a bitch.
I honestly think Sydney should have been the killer, though. Because I think she would have had the motive.
And Emma Roberts...
This is before AHS Emma Roberts.
I know, and I like her, but I just thought she was kind of annoying in this one. She's
annoying in everything, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I love Rory Culkin. I loved him. But
yeah, he was good.
He's a good creep, but... And I love Kirby.
We need more Rory Culkin in our lives.
I know.
We need more of that guy.
I love him. He's going to be in that new movie I'm dying to see that's like never coming out.
What?
Lords of Chaos.
Lords of Chaos. No.
It's about the Swedish heavy metal group. One, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
One killed himself. Was it on stage? Or he killed a bandmate, and then like heavy metal just went nuts in Sweden and like Norway and all that. Maybe it's from Norway. But he's going to be in that. And it's taking forever to come out in the U.S. But, no, he's really great. But what was I going to say about Scream? Shit, I forgot. Anyway, Kirby was my favorite character in Scream 4. She should have lived. They shouldn't have killed her off.
Everyone should have fucking died in that movie. everyone, including Sydney.
No.
Sydney should have died in the fourth one.
But I do think it... Well, see, then they tried doing the Scream TV show with new characters.
Well, but that's uncanon, though. It's not. It has nothing to do with the franchise.
No, but Wes produced before he died.
Yeah, but I watched the TV show.
I did too.
And it has nothing to do with
the
franchise.
But it's new characters.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, though. I actually liked the TV series, actually.
I didn't hate it. I just thought the mask was dumb.
I actually liked it because it gave it its own identity.
The killer was hot, though.
Well, of course.
Wait, the
killer was a girl.
No, and this... Did you see season 2?
I haven't seen season 2.
Oh, okay. I'm not giving anything away.
I haven't seen
season 2. Because it ties in... Okay.
Because I felt season 1 ended on a perfect note. Mm-hmm. And I loved the twist at the end of season 1, and I thought that was great. It was like, oh!
Well, you gotta watch season 2, because there's more to it. So. Okay,
I'll have to give that a try. Because I think they're going to get rid of that soon, too.
Well, they were supposed to do third season.
The third season is a whole new thing. It's like slasher. It's like a whole new story, new characters.
Slasher was decent. I didn't hate it.
Did you see season 2?
Yeah.
Fuck, season 2. Oh my god.
I liked season 2.
Season 2 was fucking horrible. I don't mean horrible like in bad, but like every single fucking character in there I wanted to die.
I know.
Oh my fucking god.
But then you find out, like, I just like because it took place in the snow. And
it was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
It was really brutal. There was not one likable character in that movie.
I wanted the girls were annoying too. I was like, ugh.
Missy Pyle was in there.
As what?
She was the blonde girl.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Oh. I saw it like last year, like earlier this year whenever it came out, so.
And they're doing a season 3, so that's good. But yeah, I'll have to watch season 2.
Yeah, you gotta watch it, because it'll... Anyway, I don't want to give it away, but she wasn't the only killer, I'll just say that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The plot thickens. Hopefully they tied it up in a nice bow, so hopefully. But yeah, we should, like, next year... I think we should definitely do a Scream episode.
Yeah, for sure.
And watch all 4 movies.
And rate them.
And then kind of talk about where they kind of went wrong. Because I honestly think I like Scream 4 as it is, but had they had Sydney die at the end of Scream 4, I think it would have been much fucking better. Because then you kill that story off.
Yeah, if this was me years ago, I'd be like, no, because I love Sydney. But now I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I could see it because then it gives a new...
You guys are here to entertain, not be so dark.
Yeah, don't be so dark.
Kill him
Kill her, mommy, kill her.
What was your little disclaimer in the beginning?
Well, there's a difference. I'm talking about a fucking movie.
But no, I would love to do on Scream.
Yeah, we definitely need to do one on that. And that's pretty much it. Then we filled up the episode already. So.
Yeah.
All right, so follow us on Instagram at Bump in the Night 1428. Rate and subscribe us.
Bump in the Night podcast.
No, on Instagram. That's Instagram. Instagram is just Bump in the Night
1428. And then Podbean.
Oh. Podbean is a Bump in the Night podcast 1428. Make sure you rate, subscribe us. Leave a comment if you have any ideas of kind of topics or ideas we should tackle next. Let us know. We'd be happy to do that. And be sure to follow us on YouTube at TVZ Studios. All right.
All right.
That is it. I am your host, Johnny Zuko.
And I'm Elisa, aka Ginger Snap.
And our producer over there, trying to be witty.
She's getting probed by aliens. Just kidding.
Later.
Or that broom that's over there.
Let me go get my...
I'll
go get my strap on.
Oh my god. I'll walk into that. Okay. Bye.